So we do have some breaking news just out that President Trump has now said over on Truth Social that Iran and Israel have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire. But what does this mean? And does this mean that it takes the United States off the table of all these threats? One of the questions I was getting, and one of the comments that I got quite a bit over the past, well, really since the last video, was we're spreading fear that there's not a war coming on. And the good news now is no, there's not. I want to explain why, and I'm going to do that in today's video. But also on top of that, what President Trump just said, okay, is huge, not just for the United States, but for the entire world as well. And I'm going to explain that as well. So if you enjoy these daily updates, do me a favor, go ahead, hit that like button. But now let's begin. So here's where we're at. So Israel and Iran obviously had a massive conflict, okay, a huge conflict, and the United States jumped into it. But here's where things are actually in a better spot today than they were before. What we knew before was that Iran had nuclear weapons. They had nuclear capabilities, that they were getting closer and closer to potentially having a nuclear warhead. That's what we learned. And from multiple sources, we learned that Iran was potentially 1 to 2 weeks away from becoming a massive threat and a huge terrorist threat to the entire world, not just the United States. Well, the United States decided we are going to drop several bunker busters, and we were going to disrupt and totally dismantle, destroy their nuclear ambitions. Well, it looks like the United States accomplished that. So according to the reports out just recently, yes, the United States got involved at the right time, ended this conflict between Israel and Iran, or Iran and the rest of the world. And so the good news now is hopefully the potential threats have ended. Now, I do want to say, and again, the reason I say hopefully is because there are still threats out there. Now, what are these threats? This is where most people are a little bit misinformed. When I said there were potential, concerns, especially with sleeper cells here in the United States, mainly sleeper cells through like Hezbollah. The reason I even brought that up was because that is what FBI officials were telling us, that was the big concern. And again, that hasn't gone away. That is still a concern that we need to be well aware of, and that we need to address. Okay. Now, I do want to bring up one other thing though. It's not just sleeper cells. Okay, there's people here in the United States that are going to protest what the United States did to Iran, protest the fact that Iran, they believe that Iran should have the ability to produce nuclear weapons if they see fit. And the United States and many other countries say no, that Iran is not one of those countries that should have nuclear weapons because they can't be trusted. And so let me ask you this. Do you think Iran should be trusted? Do you think the United States should be trusted? Right? Do you think Israel should be trusted? We don't know. Right? Those are the questions. Now, when I was reading President Trump's posts from Truth Social, that Iran and Israel have agreed to a complete and total ceasefire, that's good news, because we were hearing that multiple embassies across the Middle East were evacuating. They were trying to get their employees out of the embassies, get the people away from the embassies, because those embassies were seen as a threat, as a target. But it's not just the embassies. And this is where, I know a lot of people were questioning, like, is it the United States? Are we really under attack? The United States was never under attack, but we were a threat. We were under an advisory, and we are still under that advisory to this day. Okay. Today is Monday, June 24th, 23rd, something like that. So yes, we are still under this advisory that if you see something, say something, simply because right now the major cities, right, Los Angeles, New York, Miami, Seattle, okay, Denver, okay, places in Texas, they're all being advised to just be aware of what's going on, simply because if Hezbollah or another Iranian proxy decides they want to attack the United States, they're not going to go after the small little towns. They're going to go after something that's going to be a big target. And again, that is still a possibility. Now, is it a high possibility? No. Okay, just want to be very clear on that. The answer is no. So if you're a little bit concerned that we are about to experience an attack here on the United States, according to multiple sources, there's no chatter yet as far as a potential attack, so that's good news there. There's also it's very unlikely that Iran were to escalate, because what the United States did was pretty much get rid of Iran's nuclear facilities. I destroyed them, and that was as a result of Iran going against a law that the United States and 6 other countries said that no, we don't want Iran having nuclear capabilities. So the fact of the matter is this: the United States only bombed Iran because they were going against a law that they agreed to, or a policy that they agreed to. So that's the key there. Now, what does this mean moving forward? Are we going to still see Israel in the mix with Israel and Iran? The answer as of right now is no. Okay, I don't think Israel and Iran are going to continue to do things like this. It's not going to be like Israel and Gaza, what's happening with Hamas. That's a little bit different. And so this one it's big. It's a very big thing. And so President Trump saying that he was able to successfully they successfully reached an agreement, that's huge, not just for the United States, but the entire world. So I just wanted to bring this to you because I know a lot of people were questioning or asking, like, what's going on. And one of the concerns this morning was, would the Strait of Hormuz be closed? Well, it took, according to reports, it took some persuading, but yeah, the Strait of Hormuz will not be closed, so oil prices are not going to shoot up. Keep in mind, the Strait of Hormuz, I think it's like 20% of the world's oil production gets shipped through the Strait of Hormuz, so that's big right there. So again, I think today was a very productive day, very good day, but there's still some moves that need to be made, and still some headway that we need to make as well. So again, it's a start. It's a positive start, but I don't think we're out of it yet, because again, there's still groups. Okay, there's still people that could potentially protest what the United States did. There's still people that are going to protest what Israel's doing and how the United States is backing them as well. So again, a lot of stuff going on right now, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people concerned, simply because we don't know the direction that the United States is headed, or the direction that Iran and Israel are headed as well. So as we get more information on this and more updates, I promise I'll bring you the latest news as soon as we get it. But as of today, that's really what we know. So at the end of the day, on a positive note, that yes, Israel and Iran have agreed to this complete and total ceasefire. But at the same time, we've seen ceasefires happen before. It only goes on for a little bit of time, and then it kind of goes away. So if that's the case here, I don't know, but we're going to find out soon enough. So again, as we get more information, I will bring you all the latest news and updates as soon as we get it. So thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.